Oh my god. Yeah, I like that. I have something to confess. Spotify doesn't like readers, as she should. I'm just trying my best out here. Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Loves Books. Today is a very exciting yet terrifying video. Why? Because we're reading for 24 hours. Again. Last time I did this was back in April, I want to say. I told myself I needed a break from doing 24-hour readathons because they are intense. They are more intense than they sound. When I first did my first 24-hour readathon, I was like, this is nothing. But then it was something. It was a lot. But it's been a few months since I did my last one in April, and when I was looking at my TBR, which I don't think you can really see it, there's my remaining TBR for July. These are all the books I've read so far this month. I haven't finished any of my July TBR, and it's July 18th. So we need to get a move on. And I thought, what better way to knock out some books than like a 24-hour readathon? Perfect. So I will be doing the timer method, where every time I'm reading, I will start the timer, and then every time I take a break from reading, I'm going to stop the timer. So I am not doing this 24 hours straight. I can't do that. My life's a little hectic and crazy right now, but I'm hoping to be able to finish the 24 hours in 4 to 5 days. Last time I did this method, it took me a week. I really don't want that. I want to do this within a few days. So the books I'm currently in the middle of, I'm in the middle of 2 right now, are In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. I am listening to the audiobook of this. So I've been listening to it during my walks and while like getting ready and doing things like that. And I'm on page 124 of 250. So I have 126 pages left, or around that. And then the book that I am physically reading the physical copy of is Leather and Lark. This is the sequel to Butcher and Blackbird, and this is the second in the trilogy. There's going to be a third one eventually. I am only 79 pages in, so I still have like 300 pages to go. So In 5 Years follows Danny. She lives her life by numbers. She's very like type A and like has her life figured out. And she, you know, gets engaged the night she knows she's gonna get engaged, and everything is perfect. She has a perfect job interview, and then she goes to sleep and she wakes up 5 years in the future, engaged to a different man, living in this different apartment, and she's there for an hour, and then she wakes up back in her real life 5 years prior. I wasn't expecting to like this book because it's kind of more literary fiction, even though it is a love story, but it doesn't follow, it's not like a normal or regular romance, like at all, at least so far. I can't fully say, I'm not done with it yet, but so I wasn't expecting to like it, but I have been hooked. There's twists and turns that are catching me off guard and putting me at the edge of my seat, and I am so curious how this situation is gonna end. Every single time like something new happens, I am taken off guard. So I am so excited to finish this one. And then Leather and Lark follows Lachlan, who is Rowan's brother from Butcher and Blackbird, and Lark, who is Sloane, her best friend. So he is a contract killer. I believe she's a serial killer. And she's also a singer apparently, but that hasn't come about yet. It's enemies to lovers. They get off on the wrong foot. And then there's kind of some, I don't fully understand it, but there's some drama, and potentially Lark's family might be looking to target the Kane family. And so it seems like the way that Lark is going to try to prevent that and stop that from happening is by marrying Lachlan. And then I'm hoping to knock out most of these books. I already know which ones I'm looking to. I don't know how much I can realistically read in 24 hours, but we're gonna do it. I'm hoping to read 6 hours today, but I think that might be ambitious. I have a few moving things I have to take care of today. I'm also going to see a show tonight. We'll see what we can manage today. I got put in Spotify jail because Spotify doesn't like readers. I was only able to listen to my audiobook for like 10 to 20 minutes before I got put in Spotify jail during my walk. The rest of my walk, I couldn't listen to a book. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that was gonna help me get more, like another hour onto my time for the day, because it was gonna be like an hour to an hour and a half of me walking. And Spotify took that away from me. So I only read for 2 hours and 45 minutes yesterday. 6 hours today, and my goal was 6. I woke up kind of early this morning, so I picked up my book. And you know what really sucks? I am not an audiobook person. I'll listen to it sometimes, but I don't typically like the narrators. I don't know what they're called, audiobook narrator, voice actor type people. I typically don't like how most people like narrate books. I don't like their tone. I don't like I don't know. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound like a human. Like, it's just weird to me. I don't know. But I loved the narrator or audiobook voice actor person who did In 5 Years. She was so good. Like, I loved the voices she had for the different characters, and it just felt real. It felt like I don't know, a person. And so when this was the book that I got cut off at, I was so upset because I wanted to hear the rest, like, in her voice. So that was very upsetting. I didn't want to hear it in my own voice. But last night after the show, I read some, and then this morning I did finish it. I think I want to rate it like 4 or 4.25 stars. I really loved it, which I'm so surprised by because I didn't think I would. But it was such a beautiful story, and it was such an easy read. And I don't know how to word this because it kind of has some heavy topics in it, but it honestly felt like a light read for my brain. I don't know if it's just because it's like a very different read from what I normally read, but I loved it. And it was only 251 pages, so it was very quick. If I had the time, I could have read this in one sitting. Wow. It was just very, like, refreshing. I went in many directions that I wasn't expecting. I was never bored. There was always something going on that I was like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, oh wow, okay, now this is happening now, okay. Like, I was always in it and interested, and it was so good. Now I want to read her other books. We still have 20 hours and 19 minutes remaining on the clock. I read up to page 168 yesterday, and it's like 390 pages, something like that. I am interested and invested in this book, so hopefully that stays that way, and then I can just power through it. I have something to confess. I was at work on my break, and I turned off Do Not Disturb on my phone, and then I saw my notifications that I missed while I was working, and when I went to click on one, I accidentally hit the X where the timer was, and I canceled the timer. Don't fully know where I was at. I am going to set the alarm for what I think, or the timer for what I think it was left at. I think it was at 18 hours and 37 minutes. But I don't know for sure. We're just gonna hope. But anyway, if you want a little update, I'm on page 262 of Leather and Lark. And I'm really enjoying it, but I'm not super connected to them. We still have time. I think it's very much a slow burn, and I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm enjoying the moments that we have, but I don't know, I don't feel it in my soul. 16 hours and 40 minutes remaining, and I'm on page 356. I don't love the way Christianity and religion is being portrayed. There's been a lot of people who have taken Christian beliefs and used them in improper ways, and then, you know, writers of shows, movies, books kind of use that for their story in whatever way, and I don't enjoy that, because for some people, reading this book or watching whatever show that has that type of element and perspective of Christianity might be the only time they ever see a Christian or read about a Christian and what that's supposed to be, and then they think that improper, toxic, cult-like, distorted look on Christianity is what Christianity actually is, and that's not what it is. True Christianity at its core
when it's, you know, actually Jesus. I'm looking at the Bible and everything. It is not a cult, and it's not anything dangerous or harmful like that. It is truly the most like loving and kind thing. But for some people, this distorted evil thing is not how they view Christians as a whole, and Christianity and Jesus, and that's not true. So I'm not enjoying that, but like I can also recognize that like not everyone's a Christian, and unfortunately there are people with that distorted view in real life and do bad things in the name of God, and it's not okay. And it's like I get people using it for their stories, but I don't like it.
Okay, there's a bit of better Christian representation. A character says a Bible verse back to someone and says, "You can cherry pick from the Bible all you want, but I still know what kind of person you are." Okay, I know it's like a small thing, but that does make me feel better. I finished Leather and Lark, and we have just under 16 hours remaining on the clock. I did like literally just finish it like minutes ago, so I feel like my thoughts aren't fully developed yet, but here's where I'm at currently right now. I think I'm gonna rate it a 3.5. I don't remember what I rated Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know if it was, I feel like at least a 4-star, if not higher, but this one definitely didn't hit as hard. There were definitely scenes that did hit, but overall as a complete book and story, it didn't hit. Their love story just felt very linear, which is like good, but like for a book, you want like, you know? I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I still really enjoyed it. And I really enjoy these characters. I didn't feel as connected to these ones. So now, we can add this to our books read. So now here are our remaining July TBR books. What should I go with? I'm debating if I should go Heartstopper. This should be a quick read. It's a graphic novel. I don't really know how long it'll take me to like actually read it. Or I could read The Naturals, which, as a lot of you may know if you are a returning viewer, I've been trying to read this book for at least a month, probably more. So maybe I should do this. This is YA Criminal Minds, basically. And this should be a quick read because it's YA. It's only 308 pages, and the font is huge. The font is huge. Don't look. There might be spoilers. I don't know. My brain kind of hurts a little bit, to be honest, right now. So I think I'm going to take a break from reading. Once my brain feels refreshed, I will start reading one of these books. I read this whole thing in an hour and 14 minutes. Wow. We are halfway done. Oh my gosh, it's almost been a week that I've been filming this video, and we're only 12 hours into the 24 hours. Maybe I picked not the best week for this, but I'm just learning, you know? I'm just trying my best out here. Anyway, reading update, I did start The Naturals last night, and I am 192 pages in. This is a quick read. It's going fast. My reading pace with this is a lot faster, and that is partially because like the font is a lot bigger, so there's a lot less words on each page. It's only 300 pages, and just the writing style, the YA vibe, it's very easy to read and quick to read. I normally read about 50 pages an hour, but with this I read like 75 pages an hour. So there's these teenagers that they have these like special skills, and it's not like superpowers, but it's just like very honed special skills. Like our main character Cassie, she is a natural profiler, and I don't really know fully how to explain that, but she can like look and analyze someone or something, and she's not psychic, but it's like kind of like that, where she can tell a lot from someone, way more than like the average person can tell from these few details. They are all recruited by the FBI, and they're kind of like in this like training program to like help them become better at solving cold cases. So kind of fun. I will say, even though it's a quick read, I'm not like loving it. It's a little slow, which I realize now doesn't make sense because I'm saying how quick of a read it is. I like when like things are happening and like all these twists and turns and you're on the edge of your seat in suspense, and that's not what this is. There's a few moments where I was like, ooh, oh my god, oh my goodness. Like I enjoy learning, like reading about their training and stuff, but I'm like, I want the meat of the cases. Like that's what I want. And like we're slowly getting into it, but I'm hoping as I continue the last 100 pages or so that we get lots of that. And I'm assuming and thinking / hoping that the rest of the books in the series will be more like that, because this is like introducing you into the world and bringing the characters into this type of world. So I read Heartstopper 2 days ago, I think. This is my first graphic novel I have ever read, and I have already seen the shows, and I love the shows. I love Nick and Charlie. I don't know how to rate a graphic novel because I don't have much experience with it. This is my first one. So I just rated it 5 stars because I love Nick and Charlie. So I don't fully know, like, as I read the rest of the series, maybe my rating system will change a little, but for right now, it's a 5-star because I love Nick and Charlie. They are the cutest couple ever. Like, I want them to be real, and the cast for the show is, like, the perfect casting. That casting director deserves an award. I don't know if they have one or not, but they deserve one because they did so good with it. It was just so sweet reading about, like the party scene and like when things happen and the little expressions and the blushing and the hands touch, and it's just so sweet and wholesome, and it's the cutest thing ever. And the flowers and everything and the leaves, and it's so yeah, that's my update for Heartstopper. I love it. I'm on chapter 34 now, and a revelation has been made about where they need to focus. And I have theories. Now, I can't tell you those theories because they could be spoilers, but I just want to establish here where we are, page 264, that I have one definite theory, but I have others that are like, wait, I feel like there's something there, but I don't know what the theory is yet. So I will let you know if I'm right or not. It's only been 10 more pages that I've read, but now I have a new theory based on page 272. And I'm like, wait, is it this person? But like, there's no way it could be that person because of the situation. And I don't really know what the other books are about, but I'm assuming I know something about them that would make it so that this theory can't be true. But this kind of seems like it is. But if it is, how would they have completed or done this? How would they have... Oh my gosh, I think I was right. I wasn't expecting it to go down this route. Oh wait, was I not right? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Wait, I think I was right. Holy crap. Oh wait. Wait, what? Wait, what? I was not right. Wait! What? Wait, no, that would not work. Okay. I'm gonna give this a 3.75 star rating. That ending got me. I had so many different theories throughout reading, the like middle to the ending, and I was wrong. I did not get anything right. And Miss Jennifer Lynn Barnes, she baited me and made me think I was right, and then I wasn't, which was a very pleasant reading experience. I'm not like obsessed with it, but I did really enjoy it. And now after the ending, I'm like, I want to read about how their life, you know, progresses, or like how their life happens and plays out. And I read the synopsis for the next book, Killer Instinct, and I am really curious about that. This is the 4th book completed, with still 10.5 hours remaining. So let's look at our options. These are the 4 books remaining on my July TBR. 3 romance and 1 Christian nonfiction. My brain feels a little like foggy and heavy just from like how much I've been reading. And so I think I just need something a little different. And so I think I do want to pick up Crazy Love by Frances Chan. This is a Christian nonfiction, and this book is all about the love of God and having a loving mutual relationship between you and God, and then kind of how that should influence our lives. So this is a short book. It's like 187 pages. I would love to be able to finish this today, and then we can finish this tomorrow and everything will be good, and we will complete this challenge once and for all. And all for one. I have 7 hours and 17 minutes remaining. Here's the update. I started reading Crazy Love last night and I got like 30 or so pages in, but my brain just couldn't read a nonfiction book. It couldn't. My brain was just tired and it couldn't be present enough to actually take in the words I was reading. So I just need to read this book at a time where my brain is energetic and lively, which it hasn't been the past 24 hours. So I did end up putting this book to the side. I will get back to it, but I need to read it when I'm able to read it properly as it deserves. So I did pick up Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This is her newer release. I'm 156 pages into it, about to start chapter 15. The great thing with fiction books is that I don't have to think. I can just read, and my brain can be as involved or not involved as it wants. Rue is a scientist at this company called Klein, and she really, really loves her work and her job. And Eli is a part of this other company it's like really, it's confusing to me, but it's like they have bought the loan that was used for Klein to make its business or something. It's like they don't own Klein, but it looks like they're trying to take it or buy it or take control or like something like that. So they're both kind of like fighting for this company, and like they're kind of enemies a little bit because of this, but they are attracted to each other. They actually met up before they knew who each other were, but nothing ended up happening because of things, but they still had this attraction. And so pretty sure based off the synopsis and the kind of the way it seems to be going that they start just kind of hooking up, being like no strings attached, and then once it's decided how this whole company business thing ends up, whoever wins this fight basically, then they'll end it. It's a very easy, quick read, but it's definitely not like amazing. And this is definitely one of her more spicy books. There's even a note at the beginning. She has like a note to like let you know like this is more spicy and more of just like a spicy romance than a rom-com. So far there's been like one scene, but there's just almost all of their conversations are kind of about the attraction between them. And so far I don't really like Rue. I'm not really connecting with her. And like her character is very much like, oh, I'm not a people person. I just have my one friend and everyone knows like not talk to me. And it's like, I get that, like that's real, that's fair. But she doesn't really have like a personality. Page 172. I could feed you well. How freaking sweet. If you haven't read the book and you don't know her backstory and the context, that won't mean anything or make sense to you. But just trust me when I say, I could feed you well. That's like one of the sweetest things that's been said so far in this book. Most of their connection is physical, but like this was actually like sweet and like caring, I like that. I'm not obsessed with this book like at all, but there's definitely some parts that are touching my heart. Like this line, he could spend the next few years learning the nooks and crannies of her moods, studying her temperament, cataloging her disposition in all its little idiosyncrasies, and once he'd accrued an adequate body of research, it would be his mission and his pleasure. Make Rue Siebert happy. Like, I'm in love with him now. Also, it's dual POV, but when it's in her POV, it's first POV, and when it's in his POV, it's in third POV. And it's really weird. Also, we have about 5 hours left, and I am on page 273 of Not in Love. So we have 100 pages left and 5 hours to go. I did it. I did it. I read for 24 hours. I thought this would take 3 days. It took me 8. 9? Took me 9 days. But I would like to defend myself and say I also had work and plans and responsibilities that I had to take care of, and it really wasn't the best week to do this, but it's okay because I still managed it. I did finish Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I think I rated it 3.25 stars. It was better than Bride, in my opinion, which was a 2.5 for me, but I just didn't connect with the characters. There were scenes that I did kind of like feel somewhat connected, but it wasn't consistent. I don't know if I really like them. I think I just struggled with Rue because it was hard for me to actually understand her. Like, for example, she says that she doesn't have a sense of humor, but then it confused me because then she would like kind of say jokes, or like it was weird because she didn't really smile or laugh, but then sometimes she would, so I couldn't, it was hard to understand her as a person. It was very spicy, and I don't mind spice in books, but it definitely, like, I didn't get like the vibe of like actual feeling. It was just like they were hooking up and then he was like obsessed with her, and then that was love. I enjoyed the subplot of the companies and what was going on there, and like why there was that fight and what was going on, and that I was interested in, which helped when I wasn't so interested in the romance. And then I had about 3 hours left, I believe, after I finished Not in Love, and so I debated picking up Crazy Love again, but my brain just is not in a place to like take in nonfiction, especially Christian nonfiction, the way that I want it to, and it would be hard for me to like actually focus. So I picked up another romance that was on the TBR. I picked up King of Greed by Anna Huang. This is the 3rd book in the Kings of Sin series. This series is not as good as the Twisted series by her. I don't really recommend this series, and it's not like I like actively am like against the series, no, but like I'm not gonna think of this series as something to like recommend people because it's so good, because it's like not, it's very mid. It doesn't hit like the Twisted series does. Oh, which is so sad because I love the Twisted series. But like I did not like King of Pride, especially. Like King of Wrath, the 1st book, was decent. King of Pride, I hated it. It was not good. No. But King of Greed, it's not amazing, no, but I am invested and I'm interested, and immediately from this like start I was connected and I was being pulled by my heartstrings and caring about them, being like, oh my gosh, like yes girl, like it. Okay, so if you don't know what King of Greed about, it follows Alessandra and Dominic, and if you read the previous books you know that they are married, but he very much prioritizes work above her to a drastic extent that is definitely, it's not okay, and because of that he's neglectful. So then something important is about to happen and he misses it, and she finally is like, I'm done, and she leaves, as she should. And so this is their love story as he kind of realizes what he had, what he lost, what he really wants, and what he should prioritize, and them finding their way together again. So it's very different than your traditional romance story, so I'm definitely more interested because of that. My heart hurts for both of them, and I'm very curious how this is going to progress and play out, because I'm like, this, I don't know how they're gonna fix this. So in 3 hours I got up to page 190, which is insane for me. That is such a high, fast, quick reading pace for me. Usually I read about 150 in 3 hours, and I read 40 extra pages, which would sometimes take me an hour to just read that. So I'm like, dang. So 9 days and 24 hours later, and here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. So in total, I finished 5 books and started 2. First, I finished In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. I loved this book. It was so refreshing and so amazing. So we finished that one. I had already started it before filming this video. Just like with Leather and Lark by Ren Weaver, I also started this before starting this video, but I did finish it during these 24 hours and it was a good time. And then the first book that we fully finished front to back cover Heartstopper Volume 1. I love them. I love them so much. I might change my rating for this because I did give it 5 stars. And like, it is a 5 stars, but it just doesn't feel like one though. But I love them and I love this story and I love this book, but I don't know, with graphic novels, I don't really know how to rate them. Because it should not be anything less than a 5 stars, but a 5 stars still doesn't feel right. I don't know. Then we picked up The Naturals, finally. Oh, this was so good. My Criminal Minds, I also can't wait to pick up the rest of this series because it was so good. So good. Then I think I picked up Crazy Love. I only got 30 pages into it before I was like, you know, my brain, it's not the right time for this book, even though I want to read it and I look forward to that day and that time where I'm able to be present enough. And then I picked up Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, and even though I wasn't obsessed with this book, it was a fun read and it was a quick read and I was able to fly through this, so it was a very pleasant reading experience, I would say. And then, as I just mentioned, I am almost 200 pages into King of Greed and am enjoying myself. So I wasn't fully able to finish my TBR. I doubt I'll finish Crazy Love this month. I'm confident I'll finish King of Greed, and then I just never started Funny You Should Ask. This was the 8th book on the TBR, but that's not happening. Whoa. I'd say this was a very successful 24 hours, even though it took 9 days. Thank you for joining me and being here while I went through this wild reading journey. Let me know what books you're reading. Let me know if you've read any of these books and your thoughts. Whoa. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!